What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. It's here. We finally ended the season. Congrats to the Salle Green Archers for winning the championship, coming back from down 1-0, 0-1, winning the last two games against UP. This was a nail biter, I would say. This was a close game compared to the first two games.
Finally!
This was
Finally,
the game three we deserved. The game
This was the
we've been
game three we
waiting
deserved.
for.
Tama. If you're a fan of the UAAP or you're a fan of basketball, that was a game. That was a crazy game. But before we talk about that game and overanalyze everything, I also just want to mention, congrats, by the way, to the UST, ano ba tawag sa kanila? Tigresses.
Tigresses.
Lady Tigresses.
Yeah.
For ending the 7-year
dynasty.
reign of the NU Lady Bulldogs. No, that was also a crazy game. Kung hindi nyo napanood, panoorin nyo on Pilipinas Live. Pilipinas Live, please sponsor this show. But let's talk about that LaSalle UP game. Let's go, Gab. Thoughts? Just quick reactions on that game.
Big players make big time plays. And
Yep.
wow, KQ left it all out on the floor, making big play after big play, hitting the clutch free throws to seal the deal for De La Salle. And I predicted UP to win this championship. But seeing KQ, man, he made me want to cheer for him so much. This guy was so awesome. 22 points or 23, I think.
24.
At the end, he had
24.
23. No, 24 points in the biggest game of the season, outscoring his output from games 1 and 2. He had 20 points combined in games 1 and 2. 24 in game 3. Deservedly so, the finals MVP. You know, before this game, I would have given it to Mike Phillips if LaSalle won. But with a big game like that from KQ, I don't think there's any doubt. He was the finals MVP. Came up big in big moments. And for LaSalle, man, it's nice to have guys like Evanele and KQ. They were exhausted no fourth and quarter. I don't know if you know this, man. KQ was bent down on the bench. He was so exhausted. Actually, nagpapasalamat, I think, si KQ na ang daming mga review eh. Kudos to the UAP for
That's true.
having so many reviews. But yeah, KQ was able to rest and Evanele was able to rest. They played heavy minutes. How many minutes did they play? 34 and 33 minutes.
33.
Yeah, 34 and 33 minutes. They were a bit sloppy in the first half. A lot of turnovers for LaSalle. I thought that they should have gone at Malik Diouf more, like what they did in games 1 and 2, but they didn't. Mike Phillips was not as aggressive attacking Malik Diouf, and that led to heavy minutes for Malik Diouf. He played 37 minutes. How many fouls did he have? He had one foul or
One foul lang.
One. He
Leg
had
foul
one.
lang. Fourth
yeah,
quarter.
he had one foul. Yeah, so he was not being challenged at all by Mike Phillips, unlike the previous two games. And in the end, man, the KQ made the big plays, and his biggest play was a defensive play, blocking Jerry Abajano on a fast break from behind and giving the ball
Malinis
to
yung block.
yeah, very clean block, just amazing. I thought they were so composed at the first half. I thought that they were rushing things, but now they're so composed, and I'm just so happy for KQ and the De La Salle Green Archers. I'll get to UP later. Maybe we'll talk about UP later. But what a game. Nail biter. UP was scoreless for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
How is this possible? How are they scoreless in 6 minutes? The score was 67-63. Diba? Then Evanele came out of the timeout and hit a long-range 3. And that was the
Two
story.
baskets by Kiambao ata after.
Yeah. and then 2 baskets by Kiambao, and that was it.
Timeout sa UP.
There was, and I think we'll get to UP later, but man, I was so disappointed that they lacked the composure to close this game out. We talked about this before we came on. They were playing like LaSalle in the first round, just rushing things. I think it came back to bite them. They've been playing fast since game one. They've been playing at LaSalle's pace since game one. Diba? We talked about this in game one, that why is UP running with LaSalle? This is not how UP plays. They usually do. They have some fast break points, but they set it up in the half court. They don't usually put up quick shots. But now in game 3, man, they had so many quick shots. They tried to do home run play after home run play from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. Ang dami nun, yung mga lob pass na yung binabato nila yung full court that were intercepted. I don't know about UP, and I think we'll get to the rotations of Coach Gold later. But they still had a chance to win this game. But I still question the plays being called and the rotations being done by Coach Gold and his coaching staff. Why was JD Kagulangan not in the game at crunch time? Why?
Why? Yeah, why?
Why? This guy won you a championship in season
Yeah.
84. Made every big
Literally.
play
Yep.
in overtime. Remember, he got the rebound, retreated to the corner, 3-point shot, passed it to Malik Due for a layup to tie the game. Then finally, the game-winning shot. This guy he's supposed to be him during clutch, but he wasn't there.
Kennedy
Why?
Cancino, Gab, actually wasn't there in the closing minutes.
I don't get it. Is it some fidelity to Janjan Felicilda that he's getting these crunch time minutes?
To be fair,
I don't
kay
think he's a
Jan
much
Jan,
better-
he was better today.
Yeah, he played
was
well
quite
kanina.
better today.
I was actually
He
looking
played
at the box
well.
score. Parang plus 10 si Jan, si JD was a -6.
Yeah, but
Pero
guys,
JD pa rin.
it's JD
diba?
Yeah,
Kagulangan.
JD
He's
pa
your
rin.
closer.
Di ba? Pag
Kahit gano'ng kagaling si Jan, JD pa
all
rin.
in na, kumbaga
dapat yun.
sa dulo, you have to put your best pieces in.
And when they were struggling to score in the fourth quarter, when they were stuck at 67, I thought that they lacked a go-to guy. I thought Harold was going to be that. You know, he had a few plays in the third quarter and early in the fourth where he went one-on-one and got by his man for a few layups. I thought he was going to be that guy, but no. They weren't going to him. I thought that they should have put JD in. They needed a guy who can create offense and score. And I want talaga tataka, bakit hindi na pinapasok si JD? Well, those are my initial reactions. Maui, I'll go to you first.
Sobrang enraged na si Gab with what happened. Actually, first off, thank you to Tita Cory for getting me tickets. I actually watched live. This is the first finals na non-Ateneo that I witnessed in my UAAP watching career, if I could say. It was electric. This was a classic waiting to happen. There was 25,000 fans. I'm sure you guys heard there was 25,000 fans in Araneta. It felt like it was the early 2000s. It felt like it was the early 2000s. You can barely go out. I sat at upper box A for the old people, lower box now. You can barely go out to get the drink or to go to the bathroom because the place was really packed. Yung walking was really packed. So it was really a classic waiting to happen. The game was very intense. I think yung fans were very intense from the get-go. I told some stories to Sam and Gab nung before we went on air. But everyone was really fired up. Both sides were really fired up. I think props also to the LaSalle community for standing up and going toe-to-toe with UP. I mean, UP is not an easy crowd to match up against. We all know that UP and USD are two of the most passionate fans in the UAAP.
And loudest.
And loudest, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Both USD and UP deserve those crown. As far as initial reaction goes, congratulations to LaSalle for winning a championship after 2,555 days per Pong Ducanes. They played a hell of a game. I think yung we were questioning if they had the composure, if they had the guts to go head-to-head in a UAAP Finals series nung season. And they did. This season was really a redemption year for LaSalle. And I'm very, very, very happy. And I have to give my flowers to Coach Topex. He did a masterful job this series. I think we mentioned this during the previous episode. Not all teams can bounce back from a 30-point loss. Not all teams can do that. And they did it exceptionally well nung game 2. Capitalizing also on their adjustments nung game 2. They really, yung strategy nila was really good. Blitzing all of the playmakers of UP and just allowing Malik Diouf to just score and make plays. I think that's one adjustment that they retained.
Essentially canceling all the guards, right?
Yeah.
That's what Coach Topex is. Like, we're gonna blitz everything. We're gonna make Malik Diouf score, but we're not gonna let their guards beat us. That's it. And genius strategy.
Kasi diba, as Coach Tab mentioned, UP is known to have the best backcourt in the backcourt rotation in the UAAP. And this strategy basically diminish that big advantage of UP having that huge rotation, that huge depth on their backcourt. So yeah, definitely, if I were to give flowers before even KQ, I would say Coach Topex deserves all the credit for this season. Yung body language ng LaSalle team, as we've been mentioning the whole season, is a lot better than it was during previous seasons. Even in losses, mind you, we mentioned this. But yeah, I have to agree with Gab. What a game by Kevin Tiambao. If this was him really introducing himself to the pro scene, I wouldn't be surprised. I think sa press conference, he mentioned that he will most likely play another year.
Sabi niya.
But he also mentioned that, but he also mentioned that he will focus on family and think about things. So we're not 100% sure. I mean, a lot of players have mentioned that they will come back another year. Remember Carl Tamayo when he said he was coming back for another year and then he did not come back. But yeah, si KQ is going to Japan, of all places, for vacation with his family. It's a much deserved credit. It's a much deserved rest for a guy who really worked his ass off, not just in this game, but for the whole season. I think yung heart talaga ng LaSalle is from KQ and even si Mike Phillips. But I would also have to agree that despite Evanelli struggling to shoot the basketball for the third game sa finals, yung impact niya on the game is unquestioned. Should be unquestioned. If you watch LaSalle,
6 rebounds, 7 assists.
Yeah, even without the rebounds, the assists, I think instability talaga niya. He's the only guard who can get LaSalle into their sets. If you watch yung few minutes, yung 6 minutes na wala si Evanelli on the court kanina, LaSalle was really struggling to get into their sets. Even with minutes na si Kevin Tiambao was on the court. So Evanelli, a veteran who really showed that you can really impact the game without scoring a ton of points. I think he really set the tone early for LaSalle. It was very crucial talaga nung game 1 that he was in foul trouble early on. I think that's one of the reasons why LaSalle really melted nung part ng game 1. So yeah, props to LaSalle. Congratulations to our LaSalle friends. Sorry to our UP friends who lost this game, but there's always next year. Coach Gold will still be there. Every Diouf and Cancino will not be there. Si Kagulangan, some are saying he's gonna be there, but I think it's not gonna be there. But the future is still bright. I mean, UP has Jared Bay coming. UP has Danny Stevens coming. So heads up, Josh Coronel, who has been who people have been raving about later in the season. Kasi I think he's healthy and starting to practice with UP. And I'm hearing a lot of very glowing reviews for Josh Coronel. So yeah, this is just a setback for UP. It's still impressive. I mean, what Coach Gold has accomplished his first 3 years in UP, 2 finals appearances in a championship is still impressive. So it's still props to them.
3 finals appearances.
3 finals appearances.
Yeah.
And one ring is still a very good very good part of his resume. I think for any coach who has been in the UAP na 3 years, probably si Coach Tab lang ang may laban sa 3-year resume ni Coach Gold now. So yeah, I think those were my initial thoughts. Sam, ikaw naman. You were the one who called LaSalle a champion. Potential champion very early on.
Pasuot ng maroon. Ngayon, naka-maroon.
Oy, pero guys, 2 out of 2 na ako. I called Ateneo champion also early. Tapos Lasal naman, latter part of the season.
Lasal.
Wow.
Pero si Sammy was very early to call it.
Early.
Very early when Lasal was starting to make their run nung second round. So Sammy deserves a baller. Part of the Ballers Awards of the year.
Actually guys, Maui, season 85 pa lang na feel ko na tong championship na to eh. Na-call ko lang ng sobrang aga talaga. Season 85 pa lang na-call ko na. Pero ito talaga yung iniisip ko eh, yung nakikita ko season 86 talaga. But anyway, I think Gab, you pointed it out, diba? Big time players make big time plays. KQ proved na he was the best player in the UAP, including the FSAs.
MVP talaga.
He's the MVP, di ba? MVP talaga. And this was the best game for him to prove it. He had offensively, di ba? He had a bad game first 2 games, but today he was there both offensively and defensively. Sometimes I question yung mga 3-point shots ni KQ eh, pero sabi nga niya, di ba? Parang lay it all out there. Parang when he was being interviewed, bigay mo na lahat. And I think that's what he did. Probably one of the reasons why, when I was like jokingly saying Lasal na magcha-champion because when they were getting hot, it's because they have a guy like KQ that no other team has. And it really spells the difference, especially pag ganitong mga championships. Parang the way I see KQ, ito yung third Ravenna level na takeover, kaya mag-take over na rin if he needs to turn it on. He has that potential and he's only in his second year. He can even get better next year. So yun. Congrats also to Lasal. Kahit na taga-UP ako. But congrats also to Lasal because this is really a big redemption championship for them, I would say. First of all, in season 84, they made the Final Four but lost to UP. UP was the team that booted them out of season 84. Season 85 naman, and I remember they were very bitter about that. The following season 85, gusto talaga nila bumawi sa UP. And in season 85, it didn't work out well. To pair it, they had a lot of injuries, which fortunately this season, we talked about it before the start of the season, maging healthy lang yung Lasal. May laban yan sa finals. And fortunately, they were healthy and yun, champions sila, diba? So, coming from like losing to UP in season 84 and not even making it to the finals in season 85. Ang ganda nung comeback story din na
Final Four man lang in season 85, diba?
Oo, not even making the Final Four in season 85. So, kudos to Lasal. And this is what I'm gonna say. When I was watching the game with my wife, obviously UP yung cheer ng family ko, but sabi ng wife ko sa akin, actually nung medyo humahabol na yung Lasal, actually okay lang, parang deserving naman, parang galing talaga nung Kiambao si KQ. So, even like casual fans that are watching, like if you watch KQ, mamamangha ka na lang eh. Even yung mga Gab sa mga chat natin sa Ateneo, 'di ba? Parang wow, Kevin Kiambao. Iba, respeto talaga, respeto kay Kevin Kiambao. So that's I think that's it for me for Lasal. Magic Hugot, I have to say we have to mention Polly. Si Policarpio kasi we've been so
step up
bad on him the past few days, diba?
We've been shitting on him because he's been shit.
We've been shitting on him the past 2 games. You know, when he made that first 3, sa akin, pagpasok pa lang niya, parang feel mo tentative pa rin to eh. Tentative pa rin tong player na to eh. But I think sobrang big boost nung making that first 3. Kasi nung na-shoot na niya, parang biglang ang galing na niya ganado na siya mag-defend. Parang nakuha niya yung yung pulso niya or yung feeling niya na energized.
Yung swagger niya
really makes
was
a
back.
difference.
Yung
Swagger,
angas niya.
exactly. Kasi mayabang,
Yung
maangas
angas si
to si
Polly.
Polly sa totoo lang. Maangas to si Polly. So, I think it really makes a difference when you hit that first three or that first shot. Compared to UP, who, Maui, you mentioned before we started the episode, only hit 1 3-point shot. Hindi ako makapaniwala. Like, hindi ako makapaniwala that they only made 1 3-point shot. And that says a lot about the game planning that LaSalle did against UP this sa game na to.
Says a lot about the game planning, but also says a lot about UP's composure. They were taking a lot of rushed threes. Yes, LaSalle was closing out pretty well on their guards and shooters, but there are also a ton of times that they were forcing threes up, contested threes. And I thought, man, they could get better shots than that. Two that stood out to me.
Yeah.
One was the Francis Lopez pull-up three with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Bro,
and
why the hell are you pulling?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And then the other one was the Alarcon yung trying to pull off their another shot from season 85. Like, bro, it was a fast break. It was 1-on-3.
Fast break. Exactly. Tapos marami pang time. I think there was like 30 seconds left or basta marami pang time. I hindi ko na maalala, but that play was questionable to me. I was gonna ask you guys about that. So, Gab, apparently, you feel strongly against it. Ikaw, Maui, kasi alam ko si Alarcon was clutch last season and he made a very similar play against Ateneo that almost helped them get back to the game. But ano thoughts mo dun sa shot na yon ni Alarcon? That was a fast break.
Yeah,
actually a lot of time left.
Actually, nung magkausap kami ng cousin ko kasi we watched the game together, we were very confused what was happening sa UP during the latter part of the game. I think nung the last 6 minutes that they were scoreless, the composure just went out the window, in my opinion. It's the reason why
they could have used JD, no?
I was gonna say that, Gab. It's the reason why despite si Jan having a better game than Kagulangan probably had sa analytics or anything, any stat line, I thought that they should have put JD in. I was waiting from that 6-minute mark until the end, actually, for JD to come in because the offense of the UP was really struggling. They were rushing shots, they were throwing Hail Mary passes, and they were really put into an uncomfortable position, I would say. That was probably the time that maybe Coach Gold could have gone back with Cancino and Kagulangan because they have the experience. Diba? We were talking about what the main one of the main advantages of UP in this series. I think we've been harping this from the start of the season. Is their experience. To all the UP fans saying that they don't have experience because they have 6 rookies. Their main guys are guys that have played a ton of minutes in the crunch time.
Half their team were in the title team.
Actually, Gab, I was gonna say, if you look at yung post ni Pong Ducanes, shout out again to the main statistician of the UAAP. Si Pong Ducanes mentioned, I think, 6 or 7 players from UP who played a game 3 in the UAAP, and only one from LaSalle who was part of a game 3. And not in the UAP, in the NCAA, si Evan Nelly. So UP definitely should have had that composure advantage and that championship experience advantage. But unfortunately, as you mentioned, Gab, I think they really played the game of LaSalle nung dulo. They were not composed. There's a reason why both teams couldn't score nung dulo. I think both teams are rushing. Even si Kevin Kiambao, I think he rushed a few jump shots. That he could have been more patient and maybe just did yung signature move niya, which was the floater. But yeah, there were a lot of UP plays that were really boneheaded, in my opinion. They definitely lack yung composure and floor general to control them. What Evan Nelly did to LaSalle to control them, despite LaSalle not hitting the shots nung fourth quarter, should have been JD for UP, di ba? Kasi JD has all that experience. JD has been in those big moments. Si Janjan hasn't been. Realistically, he played for an NU team that I don't think made the Final Four. But JD and Cancino are both veteran guys who have had vast experience. Si Cancino, you could even say he experienced this when he was in UST. So it was really baffling to me why both of those guys were not in the game, especially since UP was really struggling offensively. So yeah, definitely there were a lot of questions. If I could say for the UP coaching staff during this game, they still did a good job. Despite it all, KQ just hit some very tough shots. Even si Evanelli, di ba? We mentioned this before we went on the show. Hit a shot from Steph Curry range. UP was still that. I think Gab, you could agree that UP was still dominant when it came to the defensive side, defensive end.
Yes.
Di ba? Kasi
They
si
were
KQ
still bringing it
naman,
on defense.
si KQ, despite scoring 24 points, si Evanelli, despite scoring double figures, they shot the ball poorly, definitely. I think si KQ was, 7 for 22? I have to check. But si Evanelli was also 2 for 12.
6 for 21, Maui.
6 for 21, diba? So, but it just so happens that KQ willed himself into the game and went also to the free throw line. I think he was able to draw 7 fouls nung game. Shooting, I think, 7 or 8 out of 10 from the free throw line. So, definitely, UP was still superior on the defensive end. It's really puzzling to me, to be honest, why Kagulangan and even Cancino wasn't there during the crunch time. I think we mentioned this during our previous episodes. Both guys have to play 25 to 30 minutes. Diba, Gab? We were harping about this. I think si Cancino played 15 minutes. Maybe some of it was because he got injured nung first half. But si Kagulangan also played minutes in the low 20s. So we were expecting him to play
21.
At least 20. Me personally, I was expecting him to play at least 25 minutes. I think, Gab, you went as far as mentioning that he should play at least 30 minutes during this finals.
Yeah, because
go ahead, Gab.
Go.
And
because,
actually, Gab, nung first half, I was expecting him to hit that 30-minute mark kasi sobrang babad siya ng first half. So I was really surprised nung second half. Anyway, Gab, ano yung addition mo?
Hindi, like if you compare the minutes from LaSalle and UP, Kiambao, Nele, and Phillips all played above 30 minutes. 34 from Kiambao, 33 from Nele, and 31 from Mike Phillips. In UP, only Malik Juf surpassed 30 minutes. He played 37. And Lopez was close, 29 minutes. But none of them played close to 25, or none of them played 25. JD played 21 minutes. How is your main star guard playing just 21 minutes in a game 3? It was so frustrating.
Naging detriment eh. For me, naging detriment pa yung huge rotation nila, yung depth nila from unfortunately, their main advantage turned to a disadvantage for me. Because they really should have played their main guys more. Kasi all or nothing na to eh, di ba? It's game 3, win or go home, all cards on the table. So it was really puzzling to me na si Kagulangan and Cancino weren't getting heavy minutes.
Yeah, and some were saying that he was injured. Well, if he was injured and healthy enough to play 21 minutes, you could have preserved some of those minutes in crunch time. Diba? I mean, kung may minutes restriction si JD, if he was only going to play 20, then Coach Gold, you should have reserved at least 5 minutes for JD to play in crunch time, not sit him on your bench. I was so frustrated in that fourth quarter talaga, watching UP offensively and not have their stabilizer on the court. He wasn't in foul trouble. He wasn't. I don't know. It was so frustrating for me because I wanted a close game and UP just so happens UP had so many chances to win. So many chances to tie and win, but they just made sabi nga ni Mac now.
6 minutes scoreless eh. Diba? 6 minutes scoreless. Yeah. Tagal, actually, even yung people na mga katabi ko nung game, they were saying, tagal ng score 70-67. Both teams have been scoreless for a few minutes.
And just a few more observations from me. One, that play by that defensive set by Coach Topex to allow Malik Diouf to get it in the corner was a total stroke of genius. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah. I
They had
noticed that.
Bright Nwanko guarding the inbounder.
Yeah.
Then as the play,
You're
as
talking
the,
about
as the
the
ball
last
was given
play,
to the
diba? Yung last
yeah,
play ng
the
UP.
last play,
Okay, go ahead.
70-67 was the score. And essentially what Coach Topex did was Mike Phillips, top of the key. Once the ball was given to the inbounder, he was there to block the pass to the perimeter. So I forgot who was inbounding. I think it was Harold. So Harold had no other choice but to give it to the corner to Malik Diouf for a corner three. And it
I
ended
think
up in
that-
air ball. And
Yun yung epitome
Yes,
talaga
Maui.
nung ano nila, disastrous offense nila nung fourth quarter. Malik Diouf shooting that 3-point shot to tie the game in the the waning seconds of the game, 'di ba?
yeah, for me, yes, it's partly bad for UB, but I mean, a stroke of genius of a defensive play from Coach Topex. And whoever came up with that yung in his coaching staff, kudos to you, man. I was so impressed by that defensive play. Another point I wanted to raise, Maui, si Scary Jerry, parang natakot ah. Natakot.
Scary
Yeah.
yung stats.
In fairness
My God,
in fairness to Obadiano, he was still getting to his spots naman kanina. But
Yeah, but
I
he was
thought that-
missing.
I thought that he really rushed. I thought that he should have gone out nung last play when KQ went for the block. I think that play was a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 with three LaSalle defenders. Even if he didn't touch it last, probably LaSalle would have gotten the possession. It was 30 seconds to go, di ba? Yung game. So maybe it would have
30
been
seconds to
wiser
go.
for him to just set the play again, di ba? And try to get the 3-point shot since they were down 3. Unfortunately, it was KQ's moment really waiting to happen. That was a huge statement block from KQ to seal yung season nila, to seal season 86 and show that he really deserves to be the MVP. Kasi yun yung di ba? Everyone has been harping the first 2 games. Did KQ really deserve to win the MVP? He didn't show up game 1. He was not that when you look at the scoring sheet, he didn't score a lot in game 2, but he impacted the game in many ways, in my opinion, still. But this game 3 impacted the game on all aspects, di ba? Parang passing niya, rebounding, blocks, scoring. Talagang tama yung sinabi mo, Sam, he really left it all on the court. He was very emotional nung dulo ng game. He was crying when he was shooting some of his free throws.
He
Diba?
was crying even before the game was over.
Before the game ended,
Actually-
I was like,
Actually,
Don't
madami
cry.
sa Lasal. Si Ben Phillips and si Abadam were shown in the screen and crying. And the game was not yet over. Parang up 3 pa lang sila during that time. So I was a bit nervous for Lasal. But yeah, props to KQ for still hitting 3 out of 4 nung free throw shots na despite being very emotional. I think he really gave it all on the floor tonight. That's probably he just etched his name in UAAP history, in my opinion. Anytime you win a game 3 nail biter and you were the main guy, the best player, definitely you have etched yourself in UAAP history.
Another point I wanted to make. It's still my quote from our last episode still holds true from Takenori Akagi. Whoever controls the rebound controls the game, and LaSalle won the rebounding battle again, 50-40. And Mike Phillips with 16 of those 50 rebounds. Freaking amazing, Mike Phillips. He didn't score a lot, but he was incredible on the
Motor
ball,
Mike.
on the glass. Pangklase. Ibang klase si Mike Phillips, man. Played 31 minutes, got hit a couple of times in the first half. I just wanted to say that first half was
went
the epitome of a
down
game 3.
couple of times.
Yun ang finals,
Physicality.
game 3.
Unsportsmanlike fouls, a technical foul on
Left and right.
Alarcon
Anyway,
yung for throwing the ball. This was intense, man. I had to shout out Joaquin Manuel. 2 minutes of game time. Just had to get in his unsportsmanlike foul. Just had to hit Lopez. My God, walking.
He was setting the tone, Gab, for a very physical game.
Oh.
Si Joaquin Manuel was the leader.
Kung hindi nyo alam, guys, yung sa thread namin sa Telegram, sabi ni Gab, wow, Joaquin Manuel is starting. And then after 2 minutes, reply ako, flagrant agad, let's go! Thank you, Joaquin Manuel, for setting the tone.
For giving us that moment, Waki. It was so funny to me, man. You just had to get your unsportsmanlike foul in the early part of the game, and
in the last game of his UAAP career, also, by the way.
And if we're giving out Boleros, also, I do want to give out a Bolero to Raylan Torres. I thought he played horribly. My God, there were so many glaring turnovers by Raylan Torres. Yes, he was defending KQ pretty well, but offensively, he was giving the points away. When he was giving possessions away. There was one time he didn't catch a kick-out pass from Malik Diouf. There was one time he forced it inside to Malik Diouf, which ended up in a steal. All of those happening in the fourth quarter, where their offense was going nowhere, and this guy, Raylan Torres, was turning the ball over like crazy. So many.
It's a far cry, Gabi, diba? From the Raylan Torres we've seen during the elimination round. Very steady, picks his spots very well, scores a couple of points, diba? From 3-point land. He ended the season very poorly, in my opinion. I would have to agree. He is a bolero from today. It's a far cry also for when you look at the other side, diba, from last game pa lang, si Makalalad, si VJ David, they were really struggling the whole season and slowly getting their game nung end ng season. And I think despite them not really scoring a lot of points, that layup by Makalalad was crazy, by the way. The fact that
they kept them in the game in the first half, Maui.
Yeah.
They didn't score a lot of points, but they had crucial baskets in the first half.
Yeah, diba? And just them being just having an impact also on the offensive side. I think them having that 3-point threat really did wonders for LaSalle. KQ definitely paid back what he owed sa teammates niya. KQ and Nele from last game when they did score a ton of points. LaSalle just really peaked at the right time. I think we can all agree with that this season. And Coach Topex, shout out to the LaSalle fans who were asking Coach Topex to be fired after a preseason loss to LPU. Diba? This is all for you guys. Coach Topex just became the 4th LaSalle coach to win a championship in his rookie season. I think all three of us have been very consistent and have been praising Coach Topex since the preseason, and I think what a way to reverse the curse of not winning in the finals, being called a choker. Congrats to Coach Topex Robinson. What you did for LaSalle this season, man, crazy.
And the thing about Coach Topex, man, is we talk about culture a lot, diba, sa Maui. We talk about creating a culture in your program, a culture of winning, culture of positivity, and Coach Topex brought that. You saw it all throughout the season. They loved playing for Coach Topex. Kahit sa talo, they loved playing for Coach Topex. Yeah. They trust Coach Topex, and they trust each other. I love their pre-game routine where they all go into a circle and pray. Diba? Just shows na everyone's bought in, that they have an identity, and they're all cheering for each other. It doesn't matter if you play spot minutes for them. They're all cheering for each other, and they're all legitimately happy for each other. Again, I was a fan of this hiring, Sam, Maui. Remember, at the end of season 8-5, sabi ko, I love this hire of Coach Topex, diba? Brings a different kind of energy, and he showed it. Nag-enroll pa nga sa LaSalle eh.
Yung pa, di ba? Kasi they were alumni, di ba? Seeing this guy didn't finish in LaSalle. He doesn't know the LaSalle culture. Ayan. Just to spite you guys, he's now studying in LaSalle also while being the coach of the men's team. That's unprecedented, I think.
Ano kaya feeling no, no? Classmate mo yung coach mo, no? Nakaka-stress.
Bawal kang di pumasok,
Record.
Sam.
Oh.
And another thing for something positive naman for UP. I thought Malik Diouf played a hell of a game. In his last UAAP game, he continually showed, man, that he is the best FSA in the UAAP. Grabe. He was what, 9 of 10 from the field?
He missed
Actually,
one shot.
He missed
Yung layup.
Actually, ang miss shot,
Fast
ayan,
break
si Sam.
layup.
Fast break layup lang,
He
tsaka yung
missed that.
corner 3. Ang miss
Yung
shot
corner
ni
three
Malik
was-
Diouf today.
yeah.
Diba? The
Sayang
ever
yung
so
fast break
reliable. I
layup
think
na
yun yung finlash ng One Sports, the ever reliable ba or something synonymous to that, Malik Diouf.
Grabe. And 14 rebounds. Dominating. Played 37 minutes. So I think if you're UP, you're kind of wishing talaga, yung sabi mo nga sa amin, si Gani Stevens will turn out as a capable backup center. Because they had no one to back up Malik Diouf. The fact that Malik Diouf played 37 minutes and not able to rest is a big no-no for UP. I mean, good 33, he gets 7 minutes of rest, but he barely had 3 minutes of rest. That's just crazy. Shout out to one of our subscribers who keeps on saying na nasa rotation si Pablo and si Alter. Shout out to you, man.
Pablo, naka-street code yata kanina eh. But yeah,
No,
I think
He played.
Hindi,
He played 2
Pablo.
minutes, Maui.
he played ba? He played ba? Parang
Yeah,
naka-street
Pablo.
code siya ng second half eh. From my vantage point. But yeah, UP just has to go back to the drawing board. I think yung loss ni Cancino and Malik is huge. Similar to what Ateneo faced when they lost Kwame and Padrigao nung off-season. Plus Adelfonso and the others. This is similar to Ateneo, but they have personnel coming. Let's be real. Si Agunane is coming. Wait, Agunane is Lasal pala. Sorry, Agunane is Lasal. But they have an FSA. Udodo is coming.
Yeah.
Jared Bahay is coming. Gani Stevens is coming. Denzel Walker is coming. So head up. I mean, you're still a great. I have to say, because this is a big debate in Twitter or X. UP has really built a good program. That's something that we have to agree all. I think.
No doubt.
Getting to the final, no doubt, getting to the finals consecutively. Unfortunately, just getting one, but still getting to the finals is a huge feat. Especially in this day and age sa UAAP, di ba? I think it showed also when LaSalle won the game. Before even LaSalle won the game, they were crying and all, very emotional. And it shows because UP has really been the most dominant team this season, without a doubt. Unfortunately, they were not able to close it out for UP. And LaSalle was able to ride on their momentum from the second round. But still, props to UP. Lebron Lopez, probably Francis Lopez will probably go back since they did not win the championship. So they still have a lot of pieces. We have to check on JD Kagulangan's eligibility. I think this will be one of the questions also in our comments. If I'm correct, I mentioned this to you guys. JD Kagulangan has no eligibility anymore for next season, unless if there was any exceptions because of COVID. He played 1 year for LaSalle. Yung residency niya for UP will count as one playing year, and then 3 years. These last 3 years that they've made the finals. So yeah, maybe Coach Gold was also preparing Janjan Felicilda for next season, but
Posible. Yeah.
still,
Yeah, but
I would have to disagree.
Game
Diba, Gab?
3?
It's game 3. All cards in the table.
Ipe-prepare mo si Janjan
Hindi ko din alam,
Felicilda in a
guys.
game 3.
Hindi ko alam.
I'm trying to be
as
Gab. I'm trying to
frustrated as you guys.
trying to
But
find
we're trying to
trying
look
to
at the
find the light,
positive side, Gab.
trying to be
Relax ka
optimistic on why they did that. But yeah, despite it all, despite UP not winning the championship, this team was still good. This team was still. I still have respect, huge respect to Coach Gold. It's not very easy to control a team with a lot of superstars, with a lot of blue chip recruits. What he did this year was still phenomenal. It's just that LaSalle really peaked at the right time, and diba?
And the defense is still solid.
Yes.
It's still there. Si Coach
Still
Baka
there.
kailangan Gab kailangan secure nila si Coach Tom Chua. Kasi baka other schools are looking at Tom Chua to head their program. Their defense all season long has been fantastic. It's just unfortunate that they really struggled on the offensive end itong game 2 and 3 ng finals. I think I have to say, after that game 1 demolishing by UP, I really thought that UP had this in the bag. But really,
Me too,
diba?
Maui. I thought
It's
UP,
very hard
sure
to-
win na to sa UP. I thought
sure
that
win
too.
na to.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah, I think UP really had this in the bag. But yeah, we just have to give credit to Coach Topex and all the LaSalle players, especially their leaders, KQ and si Evanelli. What a bounce back. This is what you call redemption, really, for LaSalle yung this season. It was really a redemption year, and they showed yung resiliency nila this season. Starting the season at 4-3, winning the last 8 games, getting blown out by 30 points in game 1, and still managing to get the championship in a very classic game 3 fashion for the UAAP. This is a game that we'll probably still be watching in the future. What a game. I've missed this sa UAAP. I've missed this. 25,000 people. I can't wait for season 87. This is crazy. I'm hoping for a crazier off season. I'm hoping for a crazier season 87. What a season, guys.
What a season indeed.
Just to add, for UP, na mention mo na lahat, Maui. I just want to say also, yung women's program ng UP is also getting better. They got the rookie of the year, si Favor Ono. They were very competitive also
30
this
rebounds,
season. So,
diba? Nung game 1 nila.
Almost made it to the
UC.
finals.
Almost
made it to the finals. They just lost to
versus the
eventual
one who won the
champions,
finals,
USC.
diba? Imagine that.
Exactly. So, it's not just the men's basketball program, but also the women's basketball program. And they're getting really good players. Yung mga players that they're recruiting, mga Gilas players na rin. So, heads up UP. Next year ulit, we'll have another chance. Ganun talaga. I think both UP and LaSalle naman were very deserving.
Bilog ang bola,
Whether
Sam. Sabi nga
UP
nila,
won
diba?
or LaSalle won. Exactly. Tama naman. In talking about redemption, Maui, I just also want to mention the 2-point guards of LaSalle. Number 1, Evanelli. He was blamed. He was blamed for losing the game 3 in San Beda, his last year in San Beda. That's why he left, diba? Because people were blaming him, and even all throughout this season, people were calling him a choker dahil hindi nga siya makashoot. And you mentioned it, Maui. He affects the game in different ways. Sobrang crucial ni Evanelli. And his defense, by the way, he had very good defensive plays again today, similar to the previous game that they won. So I think also, if I remember correctly, he was thinking about leaving after last season. Pero na-convince
Hindi si
lang
Coach
siya ni Coach
Topex.
Topex. Exactly. Coach Topex called him and convinced him, hey, stay one more year. And he was na-excite siya kay Coach Topex. So I think it was a great decision for Evanelli to stay and get that championship. Diba? May ring ka na rin sa UAAP. The other guard of LaSalle, just want to mention, Mark Nonoy. He had boneheaded plays as usual, but he also kept LaSalle in the game nung when UP was like making the run, nag-up na sila by 9.
Made tough jump
Mark Nonoy
shots.
saved like a really bad play, took a jump shot and made it. So, kudos to Mark Nonoy. Ever since Gab called him out, has been balling. And he's the last of the UST trio, Big Three, na hindi pa nagcha-champion. Abando was a champion in Letran. CJ became a champion in UP.
Good point.
Si Nonoy naman ang nag-champion ngayon with LaSalle. So congrats to the UST Big Three for all winning a championship after leaving UST.
Alden Ayo would be proud.
Alden Ayo would be proud. Converge na ba next, Mark Nonoy? Gab, go ahead. You were gonna say something.
I just wanted to say something about Francis Lopez. Yes, I agree, Maui. I think I've said this throughout the season. He should stay one more season in the UAAP, 1 or 2 even, because I think his game is still pretty incomplete, and that was shown a while ago. a lot of boneheaded plays in the clutch by Francis Lopez. I mentioned that pull-up 3 with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. And then the throw ahead pass over Malik Diouf, which and the critical possession just
Went to the stands.
but yeah, it went to the stands. But yeah, kay Francis Lopez, I think you have to work on your counters offensively. You cannot just rely on one move. He has one move. He just drives right or left. Then to a layup. He doesn't have a spin move. He doesn't
Floaters.
have shot fakes.
Diba?
Yeah,
Shot
he
fakes.
doesn't. He doesn't have that in his game yet. So I think he should develop that. It will suit him well when he goes pro. When he eventually goes pro.
Kunin niya yung trainer ni Kevin Kiambao. Kevin Kiambao, the
Actually,
translation is crazy,
I
di
was
ba?
gonna say.
Train with Kevin Kiambao, di ba? What 1 year
Yeah,
can
so-
do.
I think. Yeah. Go ahead, Go ahead, Gab.
Yun lang. I just want him to get better, man. Because as I've said over and over, he relies too much na siya yung pinaka-athletic sa floor eh. Yun talaga eh. He relies too much on that. He relies too much to blow by people. Diba? He has huge strides. He jumps out of the building. That's what he relies upon. And, you know, when you go pro, wherever you go pro, hindi na yung gagana yung mga ganong gaming. I'm sorry, Francis, but you have to develop something like what Kevin Kiambao has developed. Counters to how the defense is gonna play. If they're gonna deny you the drive, crossover, spin, I don't know, step back, have something else in your bag. Expand your bag. Yun lang para sa akin, Francis Lopez. I think he should stay. And I think UP fans will enjoy having him for one more season. And I think it will do him a lot of good if he stays one more season in UP.
Agree. I agree. I think talaga he has to work on a lot of things. But don't get us wrong. We're very high on, well, I was not very high on Francis Lopez, to be honest, nung off-season. But now we're very high on Francis Lopez. I think he really has a bright future. I think what really stands out for me is you see the potential, and hopefully he's able to mold it better by getting more moves in his bag this off-season. And I think talaga hanapin niya, lahat ng UAAP players, lahat ng bigs wanting to convert to a guard, look for Kevin Kiambao's nutritionist, look for Kevin Kiambao's trainer, and maybe try to get in the ear of Kevin Kiambao on what he has done the past 2 years.
By the way, I just want to bring up yung last, I think it was like last few minutes na talking about Kevin Kiambao. Ano tingin nyo dun sa flex? I think he flexed on Abadiano, tama ba? And then actually the play after, I think Nonoy also flexed on someone. Wala lang. Do you think that deserved like a technical or what? Or wala, part of the game?
Na, championship moment na yun eh. Diba? You're
Nah,
gonna win the chip.
Eh, saka he already had one technical for faking a foul eh.
Yun nga eh.
So,
Yun nga eh.
I don't think you can eject the MVP from a game. I'm sorry.
By the way, speaking of the faking a call din, we binati natin last episode, we were like saying, "Oy, KQ, malakas ka mag-fake ng call ha?" And you got a technical for faking a call. So, Manuel getting a flagrant, KQ getting a faking a call. Na-check lahat ng mga check boxes. Gab.
Another bolero from this game, guys. And I message this to you in the end. Pilipinas Live, TV5, Signal, whoever. Why are you having Diego Dario interview the LaSalle players at the end for the post game? He's from UP. I'm sure he feels bad.
Kawawa. Kawawa si Diego Dario.
Yung nag-interview sa LaSalle. And you saw his face when the interviews were... you saw his face when the interviews were done. Yeah, he was like... You knew he was feeling bad. Because, his alma mater lost and you're having him interview the winning
All
team.
people, eh, no?
Talk about rubbing salt in the wound. I mean, you could have had, I don't know, if Miko Halili was there, maybe Larry Fonacer to call the game or Isaac Go, some other player. I mean, kung ayaw si Willie Wilson dahil sa Lasal siya, may iba. But Diego Dario, come on. If it was Willie Wilson and Lasal lost, would he have gone to UP and interviewed the winning team also? That was sakit naman nun. Come on, man. Come on. Pilipinas Live, say Signal TV5. Come on. We can't have this. Have some pity on your analysts.
By the way, hindi lang yun yung ano nila, yung fault nila kay Diego Dario. They let Rip Hamilton like call the game for like a good 5 minutes. Tapos parang it was just Rip Hamilton and Miko Halili talking back and forth. Tapos parang sabi ko sa wife ko, ano yung kay Diego Dario? Like he was right beside Rip Hamilton but he couldn't speak.
Pero Sam, in fairness, I think he was really happy to be able to meet Rip Hamilton.
Starstruck ata si Diego Dario.
Kasi
nakanganga lang siya the whole time.
Kasi from my vantage point, I saw their faces both him and Miko Halili after Rip Hamilton left. Parang they were shocked and very starstruck talaga. 'Di ba? When can you do that? Call a game with an NBA superstar or legend, you would say.
So didn't call it now.
Sobrang naman na superstar. Star lang. Hindi superstar si Rip Hamilton. Star. Yeah, but I think actually, yung Rip Hamilton, you did a good job of calling the game. Just when he was just in the moment, I think he was pretty smooth with how he answered Miko Halili's questions. He was pulling a lot of Ben Wallace and comparing him to Malik
Wallace.
Diba? You gotta feed your big man. He's the one who contests shots. You feed him, it'll get him energized. He was pulling a lot, and he was pretty good. In fairness to Rip Hamilton, man.
Tryouts na for courtside reporter. Any before we end, any last thoughts, ballers or boleros for this finals? Let's go with you, Gab, first, and then Maui. Let's end it with you.
Ballers, I think I've named them all. I think I've named everyone, Sam. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. I think final thoughts ko lang is today was a crazy day in basketball, and part of that was also watching again yung NCAA on Facebook. And please, the UAAP, hopefully we get it on YouTube and Facebook next season. Yung accessibility talaga. I think most of our subscribers have mentioned this. This has been a constant debate also on X, on Twitter. Please make it more accessible for those working, di ba? And for those in school. Most of the audience are from those ages, yuppies and the ones in school. So hopefully we get it. We get more accessibility to the UAAP. Again, I just want to say that this season was crazy. One of the best seasons in the UAAP. That's coming from me. A diehard Ateneo fan. What a season it was this year. From the off-season to the pre-season games to the season. What a season. Hopefully, season 87 will be as energetic and as electric as this season. I want to see 25,000 again. Or 23 to 25,000 again in Araneta. It brings back very good memories from my college days. And I'm hoping that it's something that we see moving forward. Hopefully, the other teams, there will be more parity in the UAAP basketball. Hopefully, the other teams who have recruited will also get stronger next season. I really think that that season 87 is wide open. The championship is wide open if KQ does not come back. But if KQ comes back, then definitely LaSalle will be the title favorites from the get-go. Yeah, I think those were my final thoughts from today.
Okay,
Excellent,
once again, congrats to the De La Salle Green Archers for taking back the crown. And as you mentioned, Maui, this was a crazy season na probably even tops the previous season that we saw. And yung maganda dito, you mentioned it, the parity, the competitiveness. This is the first time in a long time na we've had 3 different schools become the champions in the last 3 seasons. UP, Ateneo, and now LaSalle. So, it's really so unpredictable na ngayon, yung UAAP.
Nowhere to go but up din ng UAAP.
Yeah, diba? And it's wide open again next season 87.
Accessibility lang, please.
And kami dito sa Boleros, guys, wala kaming you guys know what schools we're from, pero wala kaming pinipiling school. We will call the game, talk about the games. Sino man yung maglalaban sa final. So, for us, kudos to Lasal. Good job also to UP for making it an interesting game. And we're really looking forward to next season. But alam kong matagal pa yung next season. Don't worry, guys. We will continue to do UAAP content all throughout the year, just like what we did last year before season 86. So please, like, comment, share the episode or the podcast to all your friends. Help us to get more subscribers. We'll continue doing this as long as you guys continue to listen or, share and comment on our posts. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. Congrats to everyone. That's it for season 86. The next time we'll do our podcast, it's just going to be a review or maybe looking forward to season 87. We'll see. That's it for tonight. Bye-bye. Ingat.
Yeah.